In a perfectly functioning government, new laws are built through slow, deliberate academic research. Experts spend months gathering empirical data and drafting a technocratic blueprint, in a process public administration calls agenda setting. But the reality on the ground often looks very different. Indonesia has a name for this culture of rigid, unresponsive bureaucracy, Kabur aja dulu, or run away first. It's a phenomenon where officials actively choose dodging accountability over fixing the problems in front of them. When the formal, legally mandated complaint boxes are left to gather dust, citizens are left holding the bag. They follow the rules and wait in lines, only to have their grievances vanish into an administrative black hole. That failure in public service creates a massive vacuum of trust. Citizens are now bypassing the dead-end formal channels and forcing the government to listen through a new digital medium.
According to data from We Are Social, the scale of Indonesia's digital boom is immense. Over 185 million individuals are now connected to the internet, with 139 million active social media identities. Indonesians spend nearly 9 hours a day online. This massive time investment has transformed platforms like TikTok and X into the nation's primary public sphere. The ultimate power to dictate national priorities now belongs entirely to the everyday people who click, share, and trend. We are entering the age of the Clickocracy. This shift birthed a highly reactive phenomenon, viral-based policy. In this new paradigm, public outrage bypasses the years of study and directly forces government action. Indonesian netizens have effectively hacked the entire governmental agenda-setting system, dismantling traditional bureaucratic red tape from the bottom up. Digital activism follows a very specific pipeline. Scattered online noise, individual complaints, memes, and frustrated comments, is rapidly coordinated by algorithms into a unified voice of petitions and hashtags. This overwhelming pressure forces the government into agile governance. To maintain legitimacy, they must deploy immediate, highly visible reactions to satisfy the trending topic of the day. We saw this clearly with the 3-kilogram LPG cylinders. When the government restricted purchases to official distributors, public outrage over the bottlenecks forced a policy reversal within days, putting the gas back in local retail shops. Even the highest levels of the Ministry of Finance were forced to react. When netizens exposed the extreme wealth flexing of specific tax officials, the backlash led to institutional purges and public transparency reforms at the top. These rapid reversals feel like intoxicating victories for democracy. They create a powerful illusion that the government is finally subservient to the people. But there is a severe difference between a government reacting to a public relations crisis and a government actually solving a structural problem. When leadership panics to appease a trending topic, they often skip the necessary academic research and technocratic planning. Crucially, they skip the cost-benefit analysis. This economic tool calculates the long-term trade-offs of a policy. Without it, the government makes reactionary decisions that prioritize digital optics over sustainability. Governing by algorithm is a dangerous trade. It exchanges long-term national stability and effective administration for a fleeting round of digital applause. This haste creates a policy gap, the disconnect between a viral mandate and the government's capacity to implement it. Because secondary effects are ignored, these reactive rules spawn costly new problems. They might quiet immediate anger, but they fracture supply chains and create bureaucratic bottlenecks. Testing the waters with half-baked rules and constantly revising them based on internet comments destroys predictability. Businesses cannot plan investments, and society loses a sense of consistency. Viral-based policies are administrative band-aids. They cover up the visible symptoms to make the bleeding look like it stopped without treating the underlying structural disease. This system breeds a dark inequity, the no viral, no justice paradox. If a community's suffering isn't visual enough to trend, their cries for help remain ignored. Handing policy control to a digital mob is risky in a landscape plagued by low digital literacy and contagious hoaxes. Algorithms reward outrage, not accuracy. Social media is a brilliant fire alarm. It throws a spotlight onto the corrupt corners that the government has chosen to ignore. But you cannot build a stable nation using only fire alarms. For true equity, the government must stop chasing hashtags and rebuild the integrity of its data-driven, formal institutions.